Hey guys, welcome back to our lesson series, The Christian is Told by Satan. This next slide that we're going to be talking about today is something that I think a lot of us have thought one time or another. And yet, time and time again, Christ has proven it wrong. The Lord came out and He has told us our worth in Him. He told us how much He loved us simply by dying on the cross. As we saw this past weekend over Easter, we celebrated the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. But one of the things that we've been told is that, we're too far gone. There is no hope for us. There's nothing we can do here. The Lord tells me countless times that, no, I can't do this. No, the Lord's not telling you that you're too far gone. He's telling you that He loves you and all that He does. It's interesting to see where God sits on this line of how far gone are we. According to Mosaic law, there are times in your sins where you would be punished greatly for things. But yet Jesus came along and He said otherwise. He looked at us and said, hey, I love you, and your redemption's in me. Christ was loving us in great ways. And one of my favorite stories to think about when it comes to this is the story of the woman caught in adultery. The story goes, as in John chapter 8, where Jesus was sitting down at the temple one day and He was preaching and He was teaching the gospel. And a bunch of the men from the town come running up, trying to catch Jesus in a lie. Brought this woman up who was caught in adultery. It's like, Jesus, look, this one was caught in adultery. According to Mosaic law, she should be stoned. But what say you? They're trying to trap Jesus into trying to go against Mosaic law, go against the holy word and catch Him in this lie. But Jesus never went against the Mosaic law. He understood it and He believed it Himself. And so He knelt down in the sand and He began to draw in the sand. And they kept questioning Him. It was like, Jesus, what should we do with this woman? She's been caught in adultery. Jesus simply said, okay, well, fine. Whoever has no sin in their lives, you cast the first stone. And the men were going through and they just began to drop the rocks and walk away because they were caught in themselves. They kept dropping these rocks until no one was there. And Jesus looked at the woman and said, when Jesus had lifted up Himself and saw none but the woman, He said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. This lady was caught in an atrocious sin, adultery, sleeping with somebody else's spouse, or cheating on her own spouse. Doing this was considered a high sin. It was part of the Big Ten. Don't covet thy neighbor's wife. Don't go after your neighbor's spouse. Part of the big rules, one of the most fundamental of the Mosaic law. And Jesus looked at this woman, knowing her sin, knowing her, looked at her and goes, Where's your accusers? She stood in front of the one man who actually had no sin in his life, who could have cast the first stone. And when he asked, Where's your accuser? She says, No one's here. They've all gone. And Christ looked at her and was like, It's okay. I don't condemn you either. Now go. But sin no more. Stop it. You've been redeemed. The Lord's looking at us every day, much like He did this woman. And He's looking at us going, yes, I know you're a sinner. Yes, I know you're messing up. Yes, you're quote-unquote too far gone according to you. But Jesus is looking at us going, you're not too far gone. My grace reaches you. The Lord wants to forgive you. And in doing so, he's offered his son on the cross. It's why we celebrated this Easter Resurrection Sunday, because the grace and the victory over sin was won 2,000 some odd years ago. The Lord loves us in a great amount. So much that you can never be too far gone for his grace and mercy and forgiveness to reach you. He's the one person who can cast the stone, the one person who can judge you. Although we have an accuser who we call Satan, the one person who wants to judge us and tell us that we're too far gone. The one person who can actually say that is the one looking at you and going, I love you. But here's the catch. Go and sin no more. Whenever we accept his grace and his mercy, we're supposed to grow in him. And we're supposed to pursue him and learn not to sin anymore. Yes, I do believe that we will never be able to not sin on this earth because we are flesh, we are earthly, we are human. But we are to try our hardest. You know, one of the things that I was taught growing up was that it's okay to fall down sometimes. It's okay to stumble and fall as long as you don't trip over the same rock 4 times. You know it's there. You know your weakness. Get up and go. Try to be better. The Lord is going to forgive us when we stumble again, because being fleshly, I've tripped over that rock 9 or 10 times. But Lord, forgive me. Forgive me every time. So I want you to know the Lord forgive you. You are not too far gone. That you can accept his grace and mercy today. And once you do, to grow in him and to realize your sinful nature and to realize that we can be better in the name of Christ and to do great things. Guys, I love you. I thank you so much for watching these videos. I miss you. I really can't wait for us to be back together. You guys have a good day. Bye.